What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, man. I am back, man. You guys already know what time it is with this cat. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Check this out, people. Today, I got pulled over by the U.S. Border Patrol. Okay? I will tell you what happened after I do what I need to do. You guys already know what time it is, man. I need to give a shout out to all my channel members, my subscribers, my followers, and everybody that's been interacting with my channel, man. I really appreciate you guys very much. Once again, this is a fitness channel. It's a fitness channel with a twist. I always start off talking about fitness, nutrition, or overall health in general, and then I end in a story. If I don't end in a story, I will elaborate on a topic that someone asks of me, okay? So just bear with me on this, people, because today I'm running behind schedule, and I just came in from Calapatria, from that area, off the 111. If you know, you know. I've done time in Calapatria before. That place was rocking and rolling, baby. For the individuals that's done time with me, and that are still around, and if you ever see this video, much love and respect to you guys. You know, I sends mine in full. That place was different. Trust and believe. At the end of the day, I would still prefer to do time up north. And there's reason behind that. And if you guys want to find out, leave it in the comments. And I'll explain to you why I would rather do time up north than down south. You know, there's always a logical explanation for everything that goes on in life, people. Now, with that being said, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. Share this channel. Let's get it up to 10,000 subscribers. Once we reach that 10,000, guaranteed we're running in lives, baby, on a weekly basis. What day it's going to be will depend on what my audience requests of. You know, I'm going to try to accommodate it. If I have to do twice a week, then I'll do twice a week. But we'll play it by ear, people. You know what I mean? We'll run it off, I'll get a feel for it and see how it goes. And if it goes good, then if I could push two, shit, come on, baby. We'll run these lives. I'll run them in, especially when I'm out there traveling, because you guys know I love to travel a lot. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was in Vegas. Actually, I started off somewhere else and ended up in Vegas, man, because I was in Big Bear. You know, I was in Big Bear making some reservations. I actually wanted to go down there and see a few different spots, you know, because sometimes pictures could, they don't really tell the truth when it comes to stuff like that, especially because people nowadays, they like to Photoshop a lot of shit. So, you know, I'd rather go down there and get a visual in person to see what I'm going to be investing my money in. You know what I mean? It's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? You get that extra security. But anyways, yeah, I did ramble on, right? You know, and that's what this OG does, man. I'm a rambler, man. I jump from here to there, from here to there to everywhere, man. But anyways, people, like I said, you know, this is a fitness channel. If you want to get started in your fitness journey, shoot me a DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Before I go on any further, I'm going to give you guys a tip today, man. If you want to lose some weight and sustain that weight loss, find a diet that's going to be comfortable for you, something that you're going to run in on a daily, and something where you don't have to make drastic changes in your lifestyle. At the beginning, everybody has that warrior in them. You know what I mean? They're all gung-ho, because especially when they start seeing the weight drop, and then they get comfortable, and then they feel entitled to being rewarded, and then they fall off. Or other times, you know, people, they make this drastic change in their lifestyle, and it becomes overwhelming because, you know, now they're unable to live the lifestyle with their family that they were living, you know what I mean, do regular functions and eat what they were doing, because, you know, they're eating fucking like way out of South Park. You know what I'm saying? So a tip of the day, all you need to do is make slightest adjustments to your sizes. The sizes that you're normally used to eating on your plate, and that's what I'm talking about, people. The amount, the portions that you eat on your plate, start trimming them down. You know what I mean? Trim down the ones that are your most favorite, a little bit at a time. That way you don't notice it missing. And always consume the least favorite first, so once it hits the bottom of your intestine, you start feeling a little full. So by the time you hit that final course, the caviar of your meal, you're content. Okay, that's a tip of the day, man. So with that being said, if you want to get started in your fitness journey, shoot me a DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. As a matter of fact, go check out my Instagram. I got plenty material there proving who I am. I have testimonials from team members. I have testimonials from non-team members. I have some meals that you could actually follow and get you some results. If you want to take it to that next level, like I said, shoot me that DM. It's high power fitness, high_power_fitness_. Okay. The proof is in the pudding, baby. I'm a little tongue tied right now, man, because it's been a long day, man. It's been a long couple days. You know what I mean? Did a lot of traveling, man. That's everywhere. You know what I mean? Hey, okay. So anyways, if you want to get started, like I said, shoot me that DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com, man. I guarantee in 3 months, man, we will get you some results that you will be proud of. And with these results, you could run them in and pass them on to your family members if you like. You can show them the blueprint. Blueprint works, baby. Guaranteed. I will help you be that person to come up out that t-shirt. There's no point in sitting on the side wearing your t-shirt when everybody's coming out their shirts, going swimming, and you the only sucker with the big old t-shirt on. And then the homies throw you in the pool and you come out looking, ooh-wee, terrible. Bad wet t-shirt contest. You know what I mean? Because everything's sticky. That should be sticking to everywhere, right? And it doesn't have no form to it. And we all know, because we've all been there, and even I have, you be pulling that shirt away from your body because, you just don't look proper. And you try to avoid seeing your reflection in your shadows and on mirrors or windows because you really don't look the way you feel that you look. You know what I mean? That's our ego and pride that gets the best of us, people. But anyways, people, like I said, man, I'm going to get on and talk to you guys about the U.S. Border Patrol. They pulled my ass over today. Check it out, man. So I'm going to give you an example, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real with you 100%. When I approached the individuals, was I nervous? It wasn't really so much that I was nervous, but there was a sense of insecurity there, especially what's been going on in this day of age, man. You know what I mean? You see so much shit, but like I said, you can't believe everything you see here on social media. Never believe what you hear and only believe half of what you see. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, man, they have a hidden agenda in what they're doing. They go out there and create scenes, and I see motherfuckers that just go out there just to try to shoot for clout. It's bullshit, you know what I mean? Try to stir shit up, you know what I mean? It's wrong. At the end of the day, motherfuckers got to start keeping it real, you know what I mean? Because this is our gentes' lives that we're talking about here, you know what I mean? It's not a game. But anyways, yeah, I rambled on. So anyways, yesterday, I say that a lot, don't I? Huh? Well, anyways, yeah, yesterday, I was in Big Bear, shot down to Vegas, went over there. I just went to Vegas because we got hungry, and I decided, well, you know what, fuck it, let's drive down to Vegas. We went over there to the Main Street buffet so we could eat the prime rib there, you know what I mean? It's unlimited prime rib, seafood, and all that stuff. I didn't go, I went there mainly for like the prime rib, you know what I mean? And a couple other things. But yeah, coming back home, got hit at customs right there, and man, it was backed up. It kind of reminded me of coming from Tijuana at the border, you know what I mean? Where you had to go across the border right there. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. But real quick, I was on my guard, thinking like, if these motherfuckers try to do anything, it's all out. I'm gonna run them over or something. If they're gonna try to like snatch me up and do what people's said that's been going on, oh yeah, I'm giving them a fight, baby. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But anyways, long story short, I'm gonna fast forward this, pull up to find out all these men in blue right there, because I'm familiar with what goes on around there. It actually was the San Bernardino County Fire Department. They were checking for fireworks, people. They weren't checking people. They didn't even sweat us. They just said, can we pop the back trunk? Boom, popped it, boom, we gone. Thank you. And I'll push it aside. Before even when I recognized who it was, I said, hey, you guys are checking for fireworks, aren't you, huh? I said, yeah. You know what I mean? They didn't answer me, but that's what they were doing. They were checking for fireworks because there was a bunch of firemen with the regular customs people right there. So they didn't give me a second look or anything. You know what I mean? Obvious, you know, the color I am, you know what I mean? People say that we're being targeted, we're being profiled. But was I feeling uncomfortable? Absolutely. So anyways, let's fast forward to today. Today, Sunday run day, baby. Go down to my favorite beach, Seal Beach. That's a beach that I used to hit when we were kids. Me and the homies, we used to catch the bus, the 266 right there on Garvey and Rosemead Boulevard. Would catch it at 7 o'clock in the morning, would run it down to Eximino, you know what I mean? It would dump our asses off, and there would be a bunch of fucking babies kids from the hood right there. You know what I mean? On our way walking to Seal Beach. Actually, I'll push it aside, man. They made that bus because they used to drop us off right down the street from the beach off of Electric Avenue. But we were such fucking crazy kids, you know what I mean? We didn't look at ourselves as being crazy, but you know what I mean? These people weren't used to seeing kids like us behave the way we did. We terrorized, so they restricted that bus from dropping us off down the street, and then they started dropping us off over there by the Rusty Pelican, close by, I believe it's Eximino, and I forget what other street it is. Pacific Coast Highway and something, but we used to go down to Eximino. Anyways, I don't want to bore you guys with this story, people, but boom. Would bounce from there, I'd do my run, my Sunday run day, you know what I mean? Do my 7 miles. And I didn't actually have a thing measuring how far I ran, but I go by my time and the way I feel, because I know exactly how my body feels once I hit that 7 mile mark, you know what I mean? And like I said, I do it in an hour and a half, you know what I mean? That's cruise control. Yes, I know you guys could do it faster than that, but you know, it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? That's what I do. I go on cruise control. I'm not in no hurry. Especially down in the beach, man. It's beautiful. Early morning, you know what I mean? Had my cup of Warichi right there with me. Boom. Me, the wife, was out. But anyways, we bounced. We decided to take a spin. Well, we ended up in going, how should I say? We ended up going to a place where I resided at for a while. I was a resident in Calapatria State Prison. Okay, and the only reason why we came about this is because my wife, when we were driving that way, she went into tears because she remembered the struggle that she went through to go see me. And I didn't know, I knew where it was, but I wanted to see what she went through to go see my fucking ass behind them walls because of the mistakes that I made in life. So I decided to tell her, you know what, baby, before we go where we needed to go, because we were on our way to the casino, to Agua Caliente. We took a trip out there, man, to Calapatria. It was a fucked up trip, man. The Salton Sea. I remember taking it on the Grey Goose, you know, but we really don't pay attention to that shit. We're just, you know, we know we're on our way to an unknown place. And so anyways, I went on this trip with my wife, man, and I tip my hat to her for her to be running over there by herself in the fucking middle of nowhere. It fucking was, my goodness. We even stopped at a place called Bombay Beach, man, and that place was like, it's like something you would see out of the movies. I was in disbelief. I mean, my wife was scared, but for me, it was like, fuck, man, this place is crazy. It was filled with some crazy ass artwork. So somebody, whoever it was, very talented or on some fucking good shit out there, building some fucking structures out there look badass, man. I'm sure you guys there's some viewers out here that are probably familiar with what Bombay is. The Bombay Beach by the Salton Sea. It used to be a really happening spot back in the early 60s. A lot of famous people used to go through there. This is what I found out afterwards. Frank Sinatra and a lot of other famous people. It was a place to go fishing and all that. And then the sea became solidified with salt, so all the fish started dying off and the communities started dying and moving out. Well, the community started dying off and the businesses started dying out and they were moving, but there's still their long lost survivors right there. But it's a trip, people. If you guys want to fucking go trip on something, go to Bombay Beach off the 111 in Salton Sea. Yes, I rambled on, didn't I? I rambled on a fucking lot, man. But anyways, people, let me fast forward this, man, because it's starting to get dark here. I'm back at home, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna fast forward this. So on our way back, man, coming back down the 111, I know on our way up there, I happened to notice Border Patrol right there, and I never noticed that. And my wife said, she goes, "What the fuck? What's that?" You know what I mean? She's never noticed that either because she used to make the trips all the time to go see me. That's where I used to get my family. Man, I was plugged in with family visits over there. Man, I was getting family visits like once every 2 months, baby. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, one of my kids were conceived right there. Yeah, definitely. One of my kids were conceived right there. But anyways, people, so fast forward, after we hit the Bombay and all that, we started making our way back, going back because we're going to go to Agua Caliente. Long and behold, here comes the Border Patrol, you know what I mean? We got to go face these individuals, okay? And this was certain. I knew for a fact that this was Border Patrol because it was like really blockaded, man, like something you would see in a war zone. There are barricades and shit. They were all over the place. And the scary thing about this, well, it's not scary. What it does is it makes a person feel uneasy. You know what I mean? I could right away go on combat mode because of all the shit that's been going on lately with our gente. Whether it all be true or not, like I said, you can't believe everything that you see on fucking social media because motherfuckers will put shit on social media and try to twist it up because they have a hidden agenda. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, a lot of these motherfuckers don't really care or support what our gente is trying to do. They're just making it worse. You know what I mean? They have an ulterior motive. They might be from a different organization over here stirring up shit. That way, our gente don't get their rights. You know what I mean? Have you guys ever thought about that shit? You know what I mean? You really got to be open-minded about some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I rambled on. Yes, I did. Anyways, so we approached the motherfucking Border Patrol, and guess what happens, man? What do you think happened? I rolled down my window. I'm ready in combat mode, baby, because, I'm already, heart's pumping, adrenaline is going. These fools, they're strapped. What's he do? Flags me by. Have a good day. I punched it. Whoop! The other custom patrol, the customs, the Border Patrol, they see me smash. They heard the engine roar, and they looked like if I ran that thing, they were getting ready to go chase me. But the other guys are, no. It's just the way I took off. You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't have did that, but I did what I did. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck this, I'm gone, baby. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, nothing happened to me, man. But was I nervous? It's not that I was nervous. It created a insecurity. You know what I mean? Because whenever you don't know what to expect, you know what I mean? It'll make a person uncomfortable. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people are scared to take risks in life and to make changes because the unknown will keep you from progressing in life because you've gotten comfortable where you're at. You know what I mean? So anyways, people, with that being said, man, I know you guys were probably expecting these fools to fucking rough me up and give me a hard time, but they didn't. They flagged me through like nothing, G. You know what I mean? They just waved me by. And he even told me have a good day. Say you too. Whoop, and I punched it. You know what I mean? And then of course, I said what I had to say afterwards, and not gonna say anything here on social media, but yeah, we went our way, landed back to Agua Caliente, and went over there and kicked it, chilled, had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm back home telling you guys the story what happened today. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, man, if you guys want to get started on your fitness journey, get those things going. become that 10.5, shoot me that DM, baby. You already know. High Power Fitness. High_power_fitness_. Or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. Now get up and get yours. Let's do this.